Good afternoon. Welcome to this grand day of opportunities, possibilities, miracles, and choices. I greet you today, as always, with the greetings of respect, and thank you for joining in this time for Mindful Moments. Let me apologize in advance. I forgot to hit the do not disturb, so I hope I don't get any calls to interrupt us. If it happens, try to overlook it if it happens. But hopefully we'll be able to make it through without that. I want to take a moment to let those of you know, this last weekend I was in Texas, but I was not caught up by the Hurricane Harvey and didn't have any negative effects. That was in the Dallas area, so I wasn't close to where it was. So those of you who sent well wishes and hope that I made it back safely, I did make it back safe. Thank you for those well wishes. I appreciate that very much. We are in this series now of Mindful Moments and the whole concept about S.C.R.E.A.M. I want to begin by telling you the intention of all of this. The intention is to share information and content that might be for those who are looking for something to add into their toolbox to be able to help them become more mindful, to help you manage crisis interventions or situations that may be frustrating for you. If you've got something that's working, great. Keep it up, pass it on, share it with somebody else. But for others, you might be actually looking for something. That's what this is for, to give you some tips, some reminders from my vantage point that just might be helpful in doing that. So over the last, 5-6 weeks, we've been talking about the subject of S.C.R.E.A.M. Over the last week, how did that go for you? Are you actually having conversation with people about these topics? Did you share the video? Did you share the content? Did it allow you to become just a little bit more mindful yourself of ways for you to relax and breathe and ways for you to move or to meditate? How did that work? How are the conversations going? Is it allowing you to have conversations beyond mediocrity, where you can have some in-depth talk with people who are important in your life? I hope so. That's what these nuggets are for, to help you be able to do that. Thank you all for the views. Thank you all for sharing it. Those of you who've shared it with others, I appreciate it very, very much. Please continue to do that so the word, the messages can go further and further. So we get to our period of time where we relax and breathe. And I got to tell you, I've been sitting with this because all of the things I share with you, I do it myself. Anyway, first, see how it feels. I've been sitting with this one for over 7 days, and I got to tell you, it's the shortest strategy, but I think it's going to be the most difficult for many of you who are listening and watching in. It's so difficult that some of you won't even try it because it'll be too challenging. But it's the shortest. So let me give it to you now, and I've got a lot of content around this. So I'm going to spend some time on this relaxing and breathe component because it's so important. It's so powerful as far as I'm concerned. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to relax, breathe, and repeat after me. We're going to do it just 2 times. Relax, breathe, repeat after me. Inhale, relax. Exhale, repeat. No. Let's try it again. Inhale, exhale, repeat. No. Let's do it one more time for good measure. 3. Say 3 is a powerful number. Inhale, exhale, no. That's the key of relaxing and breathing this segment, this time. Some people have difficulty relaxing and breathing. You have difficulty relaxing and breathing because you have trouble saying no. No without anger. No. Without animosity. No. Without ambiguity. No. You have trouble saying no. So you've said yes to things to cause you to not relax and breathe. Yes, yes, I will take you there, but I really don't want to. Yes, I will. How much you need, I will loan you that. I really want to say no. Yes, I will stay in this relationship, and no, I know it's not the best for me. Yes, I will go to this job, and no, I don't really want to be there. And yes, I will drop you off, and no, I don't really want to. And yes, I will loan you the car or let you move in with me, and no, I don't want to. And we struggle being able to relax and breathe because we've said yes to things that we were really unable to say no to. So we have to practice being able to say no. But I know why we have trouble saying no. Fear in many cases. Fear of these areas. You're afraid of being rejected. If I say no, then they may reject me. They may not accept me anymore if I say no to them what they're asking me to do, or asking me to give them, or asking me to loan them. And I know I loaned it to them before and it came back with one wheel missing, or with a big scratch in it. They say they don't know who did it. But if I say no, they may reject me, or maybe they won't like me. So I've got to say yeah, right? Because I want people to like me. Here's a news flash, breaking news. Some people are not going to like you regardless of how many times you say yeah. They just don't like you, but they like to get what it is that you have. Can you relax and breathe and be able to say no? Some feel that they can't say no because it's not morally right. Well, this is my family member. I'm supposed to say yes, right? It's not morally right, is it, for me to say no to a family member, a father, a mother, a daughter, a son? I'm supposed to say yes. What if they reject me? So that's part of it. So that's why we have trouble saying it sometimes. But here's the other part of that that's as devastating as anything. Many of those who are trying to get things from you don't give a damn how you feel about it. They just want what they want regardless. So they will say, well, just give me. They don't really care how you feel. So they will become emotional terrorists, if you will. And you start trying to negotiate with terrorists. I don't do that anymore. But are you negotiating with terrorists? And they try to hold you emotionally blackmail by saying things to you like, oh, so you too good to let me use this, or you too good to do this, or you too good to come over here. Huh? You just don't have time for us anymore, or things like that, or things like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just not going to ask you anymore, as if they're punishing you. You know, they try to emotionally hold you hostage and terrorize you with that feeling of, we're going to take this from you if you don't say yes. And some are bold enough, they don't even ask, can I? Will you? Do you mind? They just say, give me this. Loan me that. Let me have this. Drop me off right here. Pick me up tomorrow. Go get this from the store. They just say things to you. Relax. Breathe. Give yourself permission to say no. Without anger, without animosity, without ambiguity. Just relax and breathe and practice being able to say no. You may find that you'll relax and breathe and enjoy your moments just a little bit more if you can get to a place of being able to do that. Some of you won't even try it. It's too painful. That fear of rejection. Because saying that triggers that fear in other people, and it's their fear of rejection or the experience of rejection of maybe something that happened to them in their childhood or past relationship or something, and you trigger that when you say no. So they lash back out at you because hurt people, and they lash back out to make you feel guilty for saying no to them, but yes to taking care of yourself. Give yourself permission. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. Let that sit with you for a while. Now, to our mindful moment. That seemed like a mindful moment right there, right? Okay, so to our mindful moment. I said I wanted to summarize all of this in case you didn't want to go to watch each one of the segments of S.C.R.E.A.M. So let me see if I can do that as quickly but clearly as possible. The first thing began with the concept of screaming itself, that natural language, the first language that we had in the very beginning, that's universal, the same all over the world, to be able to scream. That was installed in each one of us to help us to manage difficult situations. Find the appropriate place just to let it out. That's when words no longer have a place. You no longer have a word for it. You just need to let it out. We went from that into expanding the ability to manage the difficult situation by dealing with each letter. The S, we talked about being able to sing. Sometimes singing, not in harmony, not on key, not on stage, maybe in your car, maybe in the bathroom, maybe walking up and down the house or the street somewhere. Singing might be a relief and a release for you to manage that difficult experience. Shouting out loud, working out, at a concert, yay, whatever you say at concerts or games that you go to, that you watch. Speaking out, talking to people who are willing to listen to what you have to say, finding that person to help you manage that difficult experience. That's what this is about. The next letter is a C, creativity. We talked about creating something might help you manage difficult things, whether it's crocheting or knitting or creating a poem or a song. We talked about the power of unleashing your imagination by doing something that you typically don't do creatively. Whether it's cooking or going home different or wearing your hair different, doing something to unleash your imagination. But because between that crisis happening and your reaction to it, there is a gap. Your power lies in the gap. One of the elements there is imagination. The more you unleash your imagination, the more powerful you become in being creative to manage that difficult situation that makes you want to scream, throw up both your hands and holler. S-C-R. R is the next letter. It's about reaching out to help somebody. The act of helping someone else takes you out of your own concerns. Helping someone else might be what will help you manage a difficult situation. We talked about that. Finding someone that you can help without holding them hostage. Remember, I helped you out this time and I loaned you $5 here and I took you to 2 restaurants. We're talking about reaching out to help people without expecting something back. Provide some healing inside if you're trying to manage something. Talk about releasing those things that are painful to you. People, places, and things that are painful. Letting them go. There's more to that. You know that. S-C-R-E, engagement. Engaging in something where you use as many senses as possible. Working out, working in a garden, going for a walk. Whatever you can do that engages as many of the senses as possible. I told you the story about my father. Many people have found different things they can engage in to help them manage difficult moments. So I told you to explore, experiment, evaluate different things you can try. Let me look at S-C-R-E-A. A is big. After you've screamed, you've been creative, imagination. I said we have to look inside the enemy, maybe inside the house. We might need to clean house. Assessing your affirmations. What are you saying to yourself over and over again? I'm going to be all right. This is going to be a good day. You decide that instead of letting the day tell you what it's going to be or dictated by somebody else telling you how things should work out on Monday or on Wednesday or at this particular time. What messages are you affirming on a regular basis? That's what the A has to do with addressing the issue. So you've done all those things and that helps you manage the emotion, but now you've got to address that issue head on. Not the symptoms, but how do you address the issue? What are you willing to invest to find a resolution to the problem? Do you even know what success looks like? Are you wandering about hoping that something allows you to feel better about the situation? Do you know what success looks like in terms of addressing the actual issue? S-C-R-E-A-M. That's the last letter. M is, we talked about moving, being active. Couch kills. That's what they say. Find some way to move, to stay active. That active movement, your energy will follow your focus. Find something that you can focus on to move towards in being able to manage that emotions that may be starting to engulf you. Just like a building is engulfed by its environment of the natural things that come over it. Take the effort. Ask yourself the question as we wrap this up. If you heard anything from the SCREAM word itself to any of the things that we broke down, if you heard anything that may help you manage a difficult process or period, are you willing to do anything different? If you heard something, if it means changing or adjusting your attitude, if it means changing your behavior, your beliefs, if it means even changing the people that you surround yourself with, the boa constrictors that may be cutting off your ability to be able to relax and breathe and enjoy your life. If you heard something, are you willing to do anything different, or are you more comfortable staying in your box? The day is filled with opportunities, possibilities, and miracles, and choices if you are willing to choose a path that might bring the relief to you that you need. That summarizes that. So I encourage you to create opportunities to share this with someone. Create opportunities to practice it in your own life first. Take the medicine, and then you know how it makes you feel. You'll be able to deliver it with more conviction once you've taken it. Look for an opportunity to take these in yourself, process it, put it in perspective so you can proceed. I encourage you to consider the possibility of not being afraid of any outside situation becoming so overwhelming that you can't handle it, because you've got multiple tools that you can put out of your toolbox to let you deal with it. And you know that no matter what happens, you're going to be all right. You've got some resources in place. Consider the possibility of what life would be like for you walking through every day, walking through a situation that you've not been in before, but you know you've got a toolbox full of resources available to help you deal with that. Lastly, I'm spitting as I'm talking. I'm so excited. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Expect and experience surprises, right? Expect and experience the miracles that will happen and expand in your life as you become more conscious of your moments, as you learn tips to relax and breathe. Expect great things to happen and expand in your journey. The service members that are abroad, thank you for listening. I wish you well. Those who are here, my friends, family, those who I don't know personally, who are on domestic soil, I wish you well. Pass this message on to someone. Share the video. Share the content. Thank you for listening. When we come back next week, I think I might go into some poetry again, and or a quote from something powerful, and we'll process and dissect that and make that our mindful moment. Then later on, I'll probably bring some more of my stuff in, but we'll mix up. Next week, we'll have something good and exciting. Until then, travel well with respect.